The Northern Heavenly Sect, a place where martial arts thrived and a stronghold against the protection from the Silent Knight. The members of this martial arts sect fought to keep balance and peace throughout the world, but this all changed when the 4th generation leader Jin was framed for colluding with the Silent Knight. Now after this nonsense accusation, his sect was forced to disband and he was forced to commit suicide to protect his son Jin Muon. After witnessing his father being wrongfully accused and committing suicide in front of him, it's safe to say Muon lived a very sad life under close surveillance. All of the other sect leaders that betrayed his father and falsely accused him of betraying the rest of the world burned all of the secret techniques left behind by the sect, and the scumbags even had the audacity to take some sacred martial arts techniques for themselves, leaving Muon, who was just a kid who had never learned martial arts, all alone and unable to defend himself, while still under close surveillance. But the more I thought about Jin and his sad life, why would they keep him under surveillance? I mean, they destroyed and stole all the martial arts he could ever hope to learn. They even killed his father, burnt libraries, and even stole techniques that should never have been made public. So why the surveillance? Well, the answer becomes very clear as you read on. The Legend of the Northern Blade is one of those manhwa that is like an addiction you don't want to admit you have. After reading a few chapters, I was absolutely baffled at the fact that this young boy, this baby man, would hold such a mantle. And to be honest, I just kept on reading to the point where I finished it in a couple of hours, and even reread some chapters simply because of how beautiful it looked. I mean, look at this panel. You can't tell me that doesn't make you feel hot and bothered. You just can't. The martial arts theme seems to be a bit more prevalent in manhwa than in manga. I have no idea why that is, but I appreciate it. My love for martial arts themed anime, manga and or manhwa stems from the fact that they have to actually train to become remotely good at anything. There's actually some sort of feasible process to become stronger. Now don't get me wrong, I love my power fantasy garbage, but after watching anime for a decade and reading manga and manhwa for over a year now, you don't know how refreshing it is to see a character progress and fight only when they have suffered the hardships of training. Not because they are special in any capacity, but because their drive, killer instinct or whatever motivates them pushes them to outwork anyone else, and when they reap all the benefits in battle, it's just sensational. The one thing that stands out in this manhwa is drip. Sometimes I look at some of these characters and feel as if they would look great in a Louis Vuitton bag and some Gucci flip-flops, because these characters are more than just drippy, they are all faucets. Now, character design is very important and should be appreciated when done well, especially when the drip is on 250. Now, when I say drip, I don't mean they change clothes every 2 seconds, that's not drip. In this context, drip means composition of clothing items, color scheme, and how the character blends seamlessly with the outfit, almost as if they're the only character that would look that good in that outfit, to the point where if you put the outfit on someone else, it just would not be the same, simply because the character just can't rock it as well. Now that's drip. Another part of this manhwa that is done very well is story. Wait. So you're telling me it doesn't just look good, the story's good too? You damn skip it. At face value, the story is actually quite simple, but when you start to add moving pieces like 2 geniuses battling it out in a game of chess on the world stage, a son massacring a village to gain power, and how he's connected to all of this, and even living weapons that want revenge on humans, and dear God, even politics. This story turns into an absolute mess, where you have to keep track of multiple subplots that could surprise you out of nowhere, and on top of all that, you still have to worry about the main character and keep track of his emotions in all this as well. Usually this kind of thing will be quite overwhelming, because having so many story elements could sometimes be quite irritating to keep track of, but this manhwa does it in a way that's not only easy to manage but also easy to follow. It just doesn't bombard you with all this at once, it slowly introduces you to the idea, then fleshes it out later on, leaving you with manageable chunks of content. And to be honest, this has been added to the manhwa that I keep up with religiously.